voice we sing to the chaos we sow. Brushstrokes of war, miniatures we paint, crafting our legends in battles so quaint. Games and glory, unforged in flame, laughter in darkness, tales in our name. Cards on the table, dreams in our hands, warriors and wizards in faraway lands. Conquest and quest, virtual realms collide, camaraderie, strength, in fun we abide. Strategies dance, tactics converge, victories chant, in unity we surge. Miniatures we paint, crafting our legends in battle so quaint. Games and glory, gone forged in flame, laughter in darkness, tales in our name. Cards on the table, dreams in our hands, warriors and wizards in faraway lands. Conquest and quest, virtual realms collide, camaraderie, strength, in fun we abide. Strategies dance, tactics converge, victories chant, in unity we surge, we surge.
Oh, hey everybody, how you doing? Hope you're having a wonderful start to your weekend so far. Thanks for coming by and checking us out here as we paint up a little miniature action this week, or should I say this month, pardon me. I got this guy, hell, Hydra. So, I figured, I don't know, had this pretty sweet looking Hydra for quite a while. So let's check them out. Let's make them look sweet. Let's do what we can do. So, if I can maybe fiddle around with you guys here for a second, go ahead and we'll turn on some background music first. And let's see if I can show you what I'm thinking of here. As far as paint and stuff, so beyond the innocent piece of paper is my keyboard. Alright, so I want to look up this because there's been an image. There she blows. Let's see if we can just save that. Okay. Got that there. Alright. And then let's see if we can just add that in as a source here. An image source. Hydra. There we go. So that is my, well, let's blow it up so you guys can get a good decent look at it. That is from, I don't know what edition of Dungeons and Dragons, but I always like the color of it. It's basically like kind of like a yellow with a brownish and greenish tint going on with it, right? So I always try to look for the threes, right? The three different colors per se. So I think we're good on that now. We can go ahead and hide this, and we'll leave that up in the corner for a little bit of a reference, perhaps. Alright, and like I said, everything kind of, you want to work within threes, right? Three colors is kind of like the way to go. So the base I want to use is Sunny Day, which I think we could all use more Sunny Day. So we're going to use Sunny Day, and then we're going to use some chocolate bar, which sounds delicious, and a little bit of Christmas green also, to try to give us that look that we're looking for in that image. Because, I don't know, sometimes you just like something. There's there's tons of different variety of what a Hydra could look like. And I could literally sit here and sift through the internet for a very long time trying to figure that one out. But I just happen to remember this one. I want to say it was from, like 2nd or 3rd edition is where this image came from. So that's the one I want to work with. And yeah. So that's what we're going to do. Alright, so I want to just go crazy with the yellow. I'm just going to start that out right now. We're just going to go cray with yellow. Let me try to move my mouse out of the way here so we can actually reach our dirty plate or palette, if you will. Alright, and yeah, let's dig right in. We're just going to start off with just giving this whole thing a nice big base coat of yellow. Make our lives easy, breezy, beautiful, comfortable girl. Alright. So, yeah, here we go. Bring her back into frame here, and, yeah, not so much to it, just yellow paint. Okay. Big brush. I just want coverage, and just go at it. And yellow is one of those colors that are notoriously difficult sometimes to get a good coverage with. That's alright. It's an easy breezy Saturday. We ain't doing shit. We're just sitting around. We're doing a little painting, Just have some fun with it. Take your time. Make it whatever we want. Make whatever we want of any day, basically. Today, we're making it easy on ourselves. It's the weekend after all, and this is something that we're supposed to enjoy. Take your time with. Appreciate the fact that you're not in a hurry to do anything. But I won't try to take too long. We'll get this paint on here. And I don't know about you, but I got me a Texas-sized cup of coffee going on over on the side, so that will be my reward after I finish slapping the paint on this big bad baby. And every once in a while, I'm going to definitely be using my little image I got over on the side there for reference. I should really blow it up and just put it on this monitor in front of me as well, but whatever. I think I know what I want. And yellow is really easy to kind of paint over, so I'm not too worried if I hit a couple spots that I might not want to right off the rip. That's fine. Like I said, we're just trying to slap the color on here. Give it a little pizzazz, a little style here, if you will. Nothing too complex, nothing too complicated. Just having fun painting a miniature that, in all likelihood, would have just sat in a box or a pile of shame. Anyways, with nothing. So, the way I look at it is this, guys. Even if you do a terrible job, who cares? You did something with it. And a lot of times, for most circumstances, something is usually better than nothing. So let's do something today, you know? Just slap her up, man. Just go crazy with the paint. Let it flow. Might get my brush a little wet here. Just keep on smoothing and moving. Let it get into some of those recesses. Yellows might be a little difficult to see sometimes too against the white. Just keep spinning and turning and looking, slapping it here, slapping it there. No big deal. Like I said, man, this ain't rocket science. Just having fun slapping some paint around, getting my fingers all yellow. Alright, let's see if we can get the underbelly a little bit better here. Any spots I might have missed. Kind of make sure we're not getting too many spots with too much paint, because we don't want the glob. We just wanted to have a nice, good coat, because this is going to be our first color, and how I'm going to be working this one is a little bit different. Instead of going at it with the lower levels and working our way inwards, this one I'm kind of doing in reverse this time. I'm going to go higher to lower. So this yellow that's here is going to peek through a little bit, ideally, by the end. And it's alright if it really doesn't, per se, because we always can come back and hit it with a dry brush. Kind of give it that little yellow pop that we want back to it. Little water again. Help it push around here. Jawline. We don't want it too thick, so we use this water to kind of help thin it out a bit and bring it back down. Hit all those little recesses. And I think we're looking okay so far. Okay, so let's go ahead and just drop that right there. That's a beautiful little lady. Alright, and let's find something to wipe my hands off. Hey, there we go. The old orange ragarino. Pull off some of this paint. Got a little out of hand there. A little on the hand as well. Okay. Just as long as it's dry, right? And speaking of drying, wants to watch this dry. I don't think anybody does, so hopefully noise cancellation kicks in for this. Sounds good so far. Cool. Smacking the mic. Apologies. Doesn't have to be extremely dry. I'm not trying to cook a miniature here. Just want to be able to pick it up and not get stuck all over the fingers. Right? That's basically it. Alright, seems like the noise cancellation worked pretty well on that, so that's good. Let's make sure our miniature is nice and chill. Chill, daddy, chill. Alright, so if we look at that, we got the, let's see here. If I look at that, if I could see that, if I'm allowed, my optometrist appointment might disagree here. But let's see here. Let's go up and grab that somewhere. Alright. Blow it up a little bit here. So, we've got some dark ridges around the top, like a crust, if you will. And then we can come back with the yellow to kind of pick out the details. You can see how, like, it's got that little bit of a like a crust there, a crown or a ridge line right along its back, and then a particular on top of its head right there. So that should give us an idea of where we want to go. So I'm thinking most definitely want to do some sort of like wash, right? The question being is, should I go brown wash first or green dabbing? We should probably do some green dabs and kind of splatter the areas that we want this green to kind of pop a little bit, right? Then we'll let that dry off, and then we'll come back with the brown wash, and hopefully that should give us some more of a muddled, muddy effect, because the lore that I'm going with is that Hydras live in the swamp, so they're going to be kind of like dirty, ichorish kind of color going on, if you will. So, before I get too crazy, let's figure out what I want to use. There we go. It's an old cup, I guess we'll use this one. And we'll use that for our wash. So let's steal some of our wash water, or rinse water. I just set that to the side nice and clean like. Just so we don't have to worry about our brown being too contaminated, even though, like I said, it's all, you know, it all comes together, man. It all comes out in the wash, right? I wonder if that's where that saying came from. But, alright. Let me get some of this right here, too. Oh, boy. Alright. Let's go ahead and drop that in the rinse. And I want something sloppy. I want a sloppy brush, baby. I want a sloppy doppy brush. I want something simply and gross looking. So this is what I tell you guys about in the other episodes, if you guys have been following along here on my little Shameless Saturday painting journey here. Old brushes do serve functions, like this guy right here. You can see it's all flayed out and just bad, right? Bad. It's a bad brush. It's a bad boy brush, baby. Maybe don't want to do something with that, right? You know, you're thinking to yourself, I don't want that nasty ass brush no more. Keep them. You can do shit like this with them. Go ahead and shake up this Christmas green. We're painting Hydras for Christ.
Wop says, what a beautiful shade of gray.
Beautiful shade of gray. Hey, Wop, man. How you doing, my man? Alright, let's go in there with a little bit of green. The green machine. And I'm going to hit that with our brush that we set aside in the rinse water. Right? So it's going to still have a little bit of that pigment still on there. I'll use that. Because like I said, man, everything kind of is a beautiful thing when it all kind of comes together, right, man? All these different colors and such. So let's use some of that to mix into our green. And then what I'm going to do is what I just call dotting, essentially. I don't know what the technical term is, but... So, I'll show you on the palette. Here's our green. Here's our brush loaded with a bunch of green. So I just kind of splat it, or dot, a few places. Till I kind of see, like right there on that white where I hit. That's the kind of shit I want. So that's why I do that, because it kind of pushes it into the bristles, but also kind of pulls excess out. To load up our brush. Alright, so I'm going to look at that image a little bit here more. So we definitely want to like crest the most. So all the like spike lining type thing down here. And if we hit the spikes, that's fine. We'll come back, like I said, and we'll kind of brush on them again. But you notice like some of the spikes themselves. Let's retouch this thing just so I get a better view here. I'm almost just thinking I should just put this over on the monitor in front of me so I don't have to keep doing this. Alright. Whoop! Yeah, because even the tips are a little green on each of the, like, I don't know, crests or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Yeah, alright. So let's go. Try to, gotta go both sides of it like that. Just plop it on there. Like that. Just ride the spines all the way down. And then like the top of the tail a little bit.
Wop says, just the tip.
Just the tip. Giggity, giggity, giggity. Let's have Hydra sex or something. What? Oh, hell, Hydra. Oh, yeah, look at this is going. Alright. I'm just going to keep on slappity dabbities. Slappity dabbities. Slappity dabbity. And we're going to try to, like I said, just kind of mirror what we want from our image up here, right? We just want green on these crests. And the miniature might not, like, you know, be exactly like the image that we have, but that's, you know, whatever. It is what it is. We'll just keep on dabbing away and consider maybe even doing the tops of their heads with the little dry brush, kind of. Just a little something, you know, give it some character. Keep that flow, if you will. Like, I've got a dry brush right now, so we unloaded all the paint practically. So let's go and do that right now. And then we can come back with some heavier strokes once we get that figured out. And I'm doing the same thing again, just smashing my brush over on the side here. Pop, 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 after getting some paint on it. Just doing this, basically, right? That's it. Just to kind of get the paint to sit on the brush where I want, because I just want it to look mangled and ugly, basically. So let the brush do the work. And then I can even see a couple ridge lines here and there where this seems like this might work a little bit better, but then we can kind of feather it out. And I know it looks bright. That's fine. We want vibrance right now, because when we come back with our washes, it's going to dull it all down, tone it all down, and ideally bring it all together and make it play real nice. In a perfect world. But like I said, it's a Saturday. We're having a fun day. We're painting. That's it. That's it. Period. End statement, right? Ain't a competition or nothing. Perfection, in my mind, is something that is unattainable. Perfection is something simply one would strive for to better themselves. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. So if I see some of your guys' work, you know, like we do, have that show your work section over on the Discord, and I can get to grow with you and see how your artistic talents have flourished. That's striding, baby. Striding. That's all that counts. That's all that really matters. You're true to yourself. And didn't let anything else hold you down. Constrict you. Because this is play, man. That's all this is play. Can't have, like, I kind of like that idea too. Let's bring it up a bit. See how it's like, I can almost do that dry brushing down and go against the grain of the scales. Just to kind of, like we were saying earlier, just the tips, right? So we can continue that pattern. Because it looks like just a big freaking mess right now. Trust you me. We'll come together. All the way around and down. Get those a little bit better. And it kind of makes sense that the center one is the most predominant grain. And it kind of works its way out as well. And, yeah. Kind of just like, what the hell, dude? Right? Like, dude, I don't get it. Hopefully. Whoa! Hopefully we'll all get it here in a second. I almost got with this microphone set up. Hold up. Oh. Stay put, you son of a bitch. This microphone just keeps fighting me on this plastic table lately. Situated every once in a while. So there we go. Alright, my bad about that. Alright, hopefully I can still reach underneath. Yeah, okay, cool. Alright, so now we want to do that wash, but again, let's take our Hydra to the dryer. Let's make sure it's nice and dry here. Also, we'll see that green come down a lot. Pretty good. Alright. Now we got our Icarus black water here, but it's not really black. You can see through it right there. It's clear. It's just in a unwashed plastic ramekin. Alright, and now we wanted that brown wherever that got you. Oh, here we go. Chocolate. Chocolate bar. So this should be a little goes a long way type thing. So I'm using like probably like I would say, I don't know, 1 to 10 parts water, paint to water. So let's go ahead and just give it a little bit like that. Then yet again, like I said, we'll still got that yellow brush, big brush here. Let's take this all for a spin. And if I get a little bit of that black in there, I'm not even going to be mad about it. Matter of factly, chocolate might not be dark enough, right? It might not be, but let's find out. Let's see, magic time. Not bad. Kind of giving us that tone we wanted. Bringing it all together, right? That's kind of what I was thinking. Just get this figured out. Then we can kind of go in and start hitting details, picking out details and stuff. See. I think that might need 2 coats of this chocolate to kind of just muddy everything up. But we'll see what happens here. I might have made it just a little too thin. I do like the color. I just don't know if it's going to stick really well, you know? It's kind of the problem I'm having here. Well, let's give it a quick dry then. See what happens. My brush will stay put. Thank you. Whoa! Paper trying to take off on me. Alright, let's see how that's looking, right? See if that kind of brings it together or if it's just a little too light. Well, I mean, the final result is alright, but I think we could do better. I mean, it's got that nice undulation of green into the yellow with the little brown there to kind of break up the pattern, right? But yeah, I think we could do better. And by doing better, I think the best way to achieve that is with more paint. So let's put some more paint in here. Spin around up. Wash was just a little too light. I mean, how could you have too much chocolate, right? Is there such thing? Yeah, well, no, to give you an idea of what we're working with here, right? So we can take the wash, drag it up, and you can kind of see how it's doing that. It's got that kind of like that coating action going on there, right? I think that'll be a little bit better for us. Alright, let's see here.
WAP says, the green seems too bright.
Yeah, exactly. So with this darkness of this wash here, hopefully that'll bring it all back down. It'll be muddier, hopefully. You can see already. Might have to do 2 coats, like I was saying. But it's definitely making it more of a muddied, darker color here. I always try to err on the side of bright at the beginning, right? Because it's a lot easier to bring something down in tone than it is to brighten it back up. So I'll just test a little bit, see how it looks, you know. And then, you know, we work from there. And then maybe we could even come back with like a drab green to dry brush on there. Because it's definitely got some drab, like mossy green going on in that image as well. That we're using for our influence here. Some of the chest plates and stuff like that are starting to pop a little bit better. Something that looked like it came out of a goddamn swamp. Hey, you kids, get out of my swamp. Plus, it'll help me be able to see a little bit better, too, so we can start picking out those details. That green is pretty bright, though. It looks a hell of a lot brighter in the image that I'm seeing over here than it is in, like, actuality. It's weird. Oh, well. That's alright. We'll figure it out. It's just paint. We can always change it up. So I want to make sure I got all the little bits and bobbles here. Plus, everything dries a little bit lighter in color, so if it's dark in certain spots, like there, it'll be fine. Unless this is not like pooling per se, we keep pushing it around. Let it do its thing, kind of flow into all the cracks.
Bad Sad says, woohoo figurines.
Hey, what's up, Bad Sad? How you doing today, my man? Hope you're having a wonderful weekend so far. Thanks for coming by and checking us out as we kick it. Nice and easy breezy day. It's Saturday. The Shameless Saturday when we go back into our piles of shame. Pick out a miniature to bring to life. Bring back to life. Give it some zest. Give it that je ne sais quoi we're looking for. Alright, let's see. Going around. Everything's looking pretty decent so far. I think we hit most of the recesses. Couple spots here and there. But now you can see how that green might have a few different pops of like brighten it. But that brown yet again is going to do that optical illusion for you. You know, if you encircle any bright color with like a darker color, your eyes is the eye is going to do everything for it. Especially if we're just playing on a game table 3 to 4 feet away.
Hey, Bad Sad.
So it doesn't hurt, you know? Doesn't hurt. Plus, it's a monster. You know, whatever. It's not rocket science. It's not someone's specialized hero or personal figurine that you're going to use at the table or whatever. So let's see if we can just make sure we get all the little nooks and crannies here. And let's hit it with the old heat gun again here and give her a little blow dry. And maybe find something to wipe my hands off on here again too. All right. My hands look like... I guess I could do this camera. Ooh. Yeah. Get into your work. Have some fun, right? Sheesh. All right.
Wop says, nice idea on the radio drama ride along.
see how this comes out after we hit it with this noise canceling. Should hopefully be helping. But you guys just let me know if you can hear a heat gun just a-blazing, and I'll try to fix it. But I think it's working pretty well. Ooh, she's a toasty girl. She's a hot one. Stand back.
Bad Sad says. Thank you, Mr. Wop. Smiley face.
And there we go, right? That green is starting to come down. Most definitely. But it's still got a few points, man. And I ain't mad.
Says. What kind of paints are you using the smoking GM?
I am using just regular old acrylic paint. They're called apple barrels here in the States, but just cheap paint. Cheap paint, you can usually get these for about $1 for, you know, how many ounces here? 59 milliliters or 2 fluid ounces. They usually run for about $1. So, nothing too crazy. Standard old paint. I like to think that the paint doesn't really matter for the most part. I mean, there are some paints that are specifically designed to do certain things, like speed paints and stuff. And those are excellent paints, well, stretch the imagination. But if I'm painting up a figure that cost me like this Hydra, I think was like $5 or something like that. It's just a plastic figure. You know, I look at it like it's a hobby, you know, and cost is relative to how much you want to spend on your hobby. You know, I'm not trying to like get into a tournament with this painting or anything like that, you know. I'm just trying to have a little fun, do a little paints, and use it, you know, do something with it. Because like I said, I got like a box over here. I don't know if I can show this without smacking the shit out of my microphone, but this is one of my boxes.
Bad Sad says. I totally understand.
So like, yeah, you can see like this is just one box here. I'll bring it back for reference. Pretty much just all plastic shit, man. That's one of them. I have more than one. So it's like, what are they doing besides sitting in a box type thing? So, have some fun, paint them up. We did a couple so far in the series. The Beholder came out pretty dope, I thought. Here's him. Get him in the light. And last time we did the Red Dragon. Got this one out. I need to get some bases on it, but this one came out pretty nice with the shine on it. I dug it. Make it kind of shiny a bit. But yeah, you know, paint for an hour or two. Kind of enjoy the Saturday. Have a lazy Saturday, if you will. And, you know, make the best of it. Make the best of it. Alright, so I think that's pretty straight. I think that's alright. Now I want to get me something like a bristle tip brush. And I got all different types of just brushes I've been collecting all over the years. And I have one in particular.
Bad Sad says. Are you priming miniatures first?
Nope. These ones are just plastic. You don't need to prime them. You just got to make sure you give them a good wash first, because sometimes they'll have a releasing agent on them that will not let paint and pigment stick very well to them. So the best thing I did, and I already washed these a while ago, is just take like a toothbrush, an old toothbrush you may have, and like some dish detergent and some hot water, and just give them a nice scrubbing. Make sure it doesn't have any of that. It's pretty much like an oil, like a releasing agent that makes sure that it falls out of the mold when it's mold injected. Metal miniatures, I definitely prime first. This guy, for some reason, I don't know why, but I primed this one too. I was thinking about doing this one, but it just felt a little too ambitious for me today. But we'll get there. It's kind of like demon looking dude. I primed it because I figured, why not? Dark colors, I usually go with typically if it's a monster, I start dark and work my way up. This is kind of a more like an experiment today to kind of start bright and then bring darkness into it. Changing it up a little bit. Try a different technique. And I want some sort of pink. Let's see here. Pinkish color. Let's see here. I think these are both the same. Now we got pink eraser and pink parfait. I think pink eraser is going to be a little bit better. If you can see, I'll hold it up against the image again here.
Bad Sad says, "Oh, that is cool miniature. I like it."
Thank you.
Smiley face.
So we could do this with the mouth to start with, I'm thinking. And then we can maybe even go in with a darker red as a wash. To kind of break up the mouths a little bit. Let's zoom in real close. I want to see what these eyes look like. They don't look like they have really much going on. It looks like we could maybe even just leave that yellowish. Maybe go and do the thing I do with a Sharpie. Just kind of go in and hit the pupils with a Sharpie or something like that. Alright. So, let's go ahead and make sure that like I said, I wanted a long brush for this one. I want to kind of be able to coat these tongues and the mouths with this pink color here. And we'll wet it up as well. So we'll use some of this pink eraser color, and won't need much. I always like to add this a little drop or two of water. So I go to my clean water. Kind of just give it a little dab there, a little dab there. Just something to help with the flowing. Because some of these paints have been sitting around for years. So just to make sure they got life in them. And that's another thing I really like about this brush, is I can really feel like I got a lot of control on how much paint I put on there. So you can see I was dabbing in here, but the one I like to do with this brush, if I can get it into shot, excuse me, Hydra, right, is I'll roll the brush now, so you can put it flat, and kind of give it just a little roll, like that, and try to get all the paint just right down on the tip of the brush, right? That's how I do it, man, because I want to be able to use it almost like a controlled calligraphy brush or pen, if you will. Just so I can hit the spots that I want to hit. And try not to hit all the other stuff, right? So we'll just look at this tongue here, right there. See if we can get a nice drag off of that. Like such. But we also want to do the mouth and all that stuff like that too, and the roofs and stuff, so let's get into there and do that too. Just like that. Gotta get the mouth, roof, tongue. Doesn't have to be too great. Like I said, we're just doing this for games, man, for funsy. So, maybe even, let's do a little bit right there. Kind of on the sides to kind of show a maul. Its mouth opening and closing. Do the other side. Alright, a little color sometimes goes a long way. Just give you a little bit more something for your eye to grab onto. And like I was saying earlier too, now you can see there is some green now that is popping up, but personally I dig it. I dig it. because it's also got a lot more muddled, muddy look now to it, right? Brown is also kind of the idea, like, of this being a creature that comes and lives in a swamp. It should be a little dirty looking, right? It should be brownish, and also kind of goes with the above image that we're kind of using as inspiration. And there's going to be some spots that we can see here and there. Like this right here in particular. I might have missed with my wash. So, no problem. Let's go ahead and just get a smaller brush. Like this one. See, even everything that you screw up, you still got to reuse for, right? So when you're washing your brushes, guys, you should never leave them just sitting in the cup. This is a prime example why, because you bend the bristles. But even that, it has a purpose, right? So now I can go in, kind of tip my wash a little bit. And now it's almost like a controlled angled brush. So we can just kind of dab it in there. And then bam, no longer blazing, standing out there. So that's all I did was just kind of use that to get right into that recess with. Use that natural curl. Almost like an applicator, right? So like a couple other spots might miss, like right there. Yada yada, no problem. Couple spots right there. On that neck. Down at the bottom, that'll be hard to see, sorry. But certain spots, like right about. Actually, that's pretty good, right? Okay, so like right here, in the chest. Kind of missed that, so just dab it in there. Using the curled part of the brush. Kind of just poke it into place. Like that. Bring it all together, man. I get that nice homogenized look. Like I can see I missed like a lot right there. Just use our little brush here. Go in there and see if we can get an angle so you guys can see. And just poke. Like such. Bring it all back together, right? Maybe around this mouth right here. Looks a little bright. Just give it a little dabby. A little poke, poke, poke. Like I said, your brushes can be used over and over and over, right? Lots of different applications. Like, just because it might not have that beautiful point, pristine point on it anymore, you can still get away with using it for other stuff. Alright, back to the pink. Get that tongue. Little side mandible jaw thingy, whatever. I don't know what we want to call that. I'm gonna go in and you try to get that roof of that mouth. Try to show you guys while I'm doing this. Sorry. I'm a very close to the body painter, so doing this on camera sometimes is a little alien to me, because I always want to hug it really close to my body. But I want to be able to show you guys too. Just kind of get in there with that long bristle. Poke around, get some of that mouth roof. Kind of look going on there. Go back to my pink. Spin my brush out. Alright. Get right up in there if I can for you guys. There we go. There. Look good. This guy doesn't have an open mouth. It's kind of closed. So that's cool. And let's see if we can get this guy's tongue now. You can see it's nice and white on the side here. Just a nice little drag. And then if I can get into that mandible, I know it's like on a camera shot because it's behind another head.
Sup.
Break up, Ron. Ron Weather. Hope you're doing well, sir. How you doing today? Thanks for coming by and do the old drive-by looky-loo coming on through and say, hey, how do you do on this Saturday? Paint day. Chilling, baby. No shame. No shame. Let's get this guy's tongue right here. You doing alright, mister? Have a good time last night playing? Hope you did. It was a bit combat heavy last night, but pretty fun. Getting drunk with you guys, basically. By the end of last night, that's, ooh. Yeah, I lit that bitch up, man. I'm just saying, I lit that bitch up. Alright. Go over here. You're looking pretty good so far. A lot of little miles and stuff. Sorry, you guys, not showing you very well, but cool, right? I'm digging it. Alright. Now, I want to kind of let it chill for a second, do its thing. And, let's do a little something different. So, we hit it with that brown, right? And we got a lot of brown going down. But if you look at her image, right, like the main skills themselves that kind of pop, like the ridgeline skills, compared to our image, like whoop, up there that we're using as kind of like a reference, those are kind of like more of a yellow than a green. We wanted the green like undercoating, right, and we wanted the yellow to kind of resurface and pop. But I want to utilize as much of the stuff that we've already used. So I'm going to go over and find myself a nice flat tip brush. Pretty decent sized brush. I don't know, this is probably about like 1/4 inch wide or so. And then we're going to take some of that brown wash that we made earlier. The chocolate wash. And we're going to take what's left of this yellow that we got, the sunny day yellow. And we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to do this because why not? It makes sense to me. I'm going to take one of these bottle caps, you know, from last night's libations that are still sitting on my table here. And I'm going to scoop a lot of this paint up. To throw into the bottle cap like such. Whoa, got frozen. And then to give it a little tinge, gonna kind of do the same thing. Remember how we still got our handy dandy applicator here. So let's use our handy dandy applicator. So see if I can get this in shot for you guys. It's you know, just show you kind of what I'm doing here. Alright, so you know, we take our wash. I'm just going to use that. Just dip it in there. Just like once. Just once I think would be fine. Because we want yellow to be the predominant color. And that might even be too much brown. So just to make sure that we're doing this right, let's go back. And get a nice big hunk and scoop of that yellow. And let's mix it all together here in this bottle cap. See what kind of hybrid yellowish brownish mustardy type color that we can come out with. Alright, nothing too crazy, right? Just give us a little bit of tint, a little bit of difference. That's all we wanted. And we're going to do a little bit of dry brushing with this. So let me find something. There we go. The old orange rag I use. And you can even tell how good I dry brush with that. Man, look at that shit. Just, I don't know if you can see that fine detail, but paint flakes off like even when I rub my thumb on this thing. It's got so much crap, plaster, all kinds of shit all over it. But it'll work, right? So basically, I'm just going to drag. And then when I can start seeing like pattern popping, like the thread itself, I'll use that. All right. Try to bring that yellow back into it. We'll go both ways. Dead store action, daddy. Giggity. Alright, get a little bit more. I'll just use the paper this time. If we miss some of it, that's fine because that's just more character. We just want to kind of give it some distinction, right? We want it to look homogeneous, but we also want it to have, like, character. That way we got a little differential, right? Kind of starting to... I mean, if I was looking at my television right now, which, you know, my second monitor here, and I look at this, and then I'm looking at that, those colors are pretty darn close to one another, so I think we're doing all right. Just going to do the same thing. Come around, work those ridges a little bit. Get a little bit more paint on the brush again. Oh, I am a perfect 10. We'll use that to keep dragging on some of this. Keep getting that color to kind of come back. We'll even hit the horns with that same color. See, he's kind of doing his thing, man. I'm digging it. That guy in particular right there is starting to look really damn good. That head. Touch the tail up. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Ooh, wait. Let's get this other side over here. Let's get those horns now again. We kind of got the ridges working pretty well for us. Oh, yes. I mean, come on. It might be a little too dark in areas, but that's alright. You know what? You know what we'll do? We'll do the same thing we did on there. We'll come back in some of these areas I could just use like a top coat type thing. Like maybe like where it's scaly, like the underbelly and stuff like that. Because if you look, it's like darker on top and actually kind of brighter on the bottom, like of those necks and stuff like that. How they're undulating, kind of snake-like. So let's work that back into here. So we'll use the same paint, might as well. And we'll start dry brushing the underbody, that same yellow that's up there. That way we kind of got that revolutionary look going on, right? We got something that kind of will run through the whole piece from top to bottom, back and forth. Kind of like looking at a ring or something like that, right? Kind of got that nice secularity going to it. Same difference. And let's go against it if we can, instead of with it. But I don't know. Actually, go with it would be probably better, because then we get more coverage. So let's see what we can do there. Kind of bring it back to life a bit there. Fan it out even a little bit, right? Kind of just eyeball it a bit. We just want to have that brightness on the bottom. Kind of like that. Yeah, looks alright to me. I'll go back and start doing the chest and the underbelly a bit here. So you can even see a little bit more details that the wash is starting to bring out, so we can kind of work with that now. And you can see like that line right there, right? Kind of differentiates the neckline versus the scales on the back. That's what we want to help pronounce a bit with this little bit of a dry brush. Make it pop a little bit more. Something about, putting the aspects of the miniature itself and into every concept that you're using as you paint, right? I like to say that the miniature is there, and the miniature will do 90% of the painting for you. Just got to kind of follow its rules, if you will. And each miniature is a little bit different, but they all kind of have the same thing, man. Highs, lows, mids. So there's not much landing there. We got a little bit underneath the neck there, so it goes right up into there. Okay, now I can see it. So see if I can tack that right about there. There we go. Just that a little bit, right? Makes a little difference. Little differences, though. Make enough little differences, you get a pretty cohesive little piece. And right there, underneath the neck. Drag her out. Right there. Drag it out. Wherever I can find that little line, if you will. That's where I want to attack.
Says, imagine having to share a body with 6 other idiots.
I just think of the poor real life conjoined people. 6 is to be terrible. You imagine just at least one other person. That'd be tough, dude. I gotta pee. Get up. Wake up. We gotta go pee. Stuff just that stuff. Just that stuff alone would be oosh. Rough. But I don't know. Let's see here. See if we can get some light to kind of do its thing. Kind of doing that's getting that look, man. And why not? Let's do that too. Let's take that bit of that yellow, some of that green. We're gonna go with the scaling and just hit it, just so we can get those little high spots, just to kind of bring it all back together. Man, that green, like Wyatt pointed out, is a little bit just too much. So we'll just use this yellow to kind of dial it back down a bit. Just not a little bit, nothing crazy. This is a little bit water of a brush when you do this. Like, see? Just want to get the little ends.
Wop says, I picture a Hydra with Larry Curlmore and Shemp heads.
All I can think about is frickin' Captain America, of course. Hell, Hydra. Yeah. It was the first time he said it too in that movie, and everyone's just like, looking at the theater like, oh shit! Captain America's part of Hydra? Oh shit! No, you're just being played fool. But it was good. It was good. So yeah, just kind of go around doing that little dragon move, and I think it, yeah. Look at that, see? Got a nice blending going there, I think, right? That spot right there, I don't like that right there. Let's try to fix that a bit. Make it pop more. Alright. Touch up some spots here and there. Of course, it's always going to look a lot brighter when you first put it on. Pigment's always dry darker. But I would say this definitely looks like a Hydra. So let's go back and let's blow up the image again, because my eyes suck. You got a good look at this for a second here. Alright, the face is kind of like a yellow and a red. It's more of a yellow though. Alright, so yeah. Woo! Bye-bye, Hydra. Let's just keep dry brushing around the face a little bit, dude, and try to get some more pop out of that too. Like such. Oh, yeah, look at that little detail too. It's got like little scalies like on its jowl there. Helps sell it, I think. Leaves those dark eyes looking even more menacing. You can see the more of the nasal ridge popping through. Yeah. I think we made a good choice with that one. Alright, so let's go keep doing that. Like right there, see if you can see that. Right, the guy in the middle, the Mo head, the guy that's in charge. So just a couple drags, man. That shit starts coming through like this eye, man. Heck yeah. Alright. This guy right here, let's see what he looks like after we hit him. Let's give him a little bit more loaded up brush. A little bit more paint. Sometimes I just use my hand. Kind of mixing up. Alright. Oh, come on, guys. Hell yeah. Let's get this guy down here now. See how this comes out. There we go. A little bit, man. Just a little dabble do, right? And we still got that dark on her there. Like I said, man. It's amazing what you can do with just simply 3 colors. Basically, that's all this is. It's 3 colors, besides maybe the pink. Pink is the accent point, right? Just a little accent. And there's something, like I said, I don't know what it is, guys. It's just, it's nature or something. I don't know. I really wish I could give you a better idea of, like, what I'm thinking, but it's just, shit in 3s, man. Shit in 3s always seems to, just be aesthetically more pleasant. At least for me. Kind of gives you that synchronous look. Like it belongs together. Almost, you know. You got your Miraquois. You got your Father, your Son, your Holy Ghost. I don't know. Just shit works in 3, bro. Just how it is, man. It's how it's been for the longest time. And it just works. Looks evil and maniacal to me. I definitely would not want to see this bad bitch coming out the swamp and kicking my ass. Rip me into many pieces. Alright, let's go around now. Just try to bring it up the head a little bit. Not too much. Just want to kind of keep that green, but we also want to do like we did with the other parts, right? We're gonna want to try to keep that whole look going, right? Throughout the whole piece here, so let's bring it up over the head like that. Couple spots here and there, right over the eyeballs of each of them, and bring it back onto the fins, because if we get a little bit more yellow on the fins, hey, it's cool. Alright, let's see here. What are we working with? So that's pretty darn close in color. But there's definitely some spots can be a little bit brighter. So instead of using yellow, if I can find, there we go, this. Good old regular white. You want something brighter? Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed white, right? Alright, but what I'm going to do is we'll put that in right there. Boom. Into that yellow that we're using in that paint cap. Add a little water. Take that for a spin. Let's see if you guys can see it. A lot brighter. But of course, like I said, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I only use a little bit. And it's always going to come out a lot darker when it's dry. Let's go ahead and just tame it down a bit. Dragging it on the paper basically like that. This mic needs to do something with itself because it's trying to take over my life here. Hold on. Drag that bitch down. Okay, that should be better. All right. See, I also do that too because then I can start seeing differential. There's the last yellow that we did is right next to it, and this is the new yellow. A lot of white. Just don't want to go crazy. I just want to make sure that we're controlled. Right. Because the idea is it's kind of like the nape area, so like, you know, where the light is going to be the biggest, like on its hip bone, or on its hip, the farthest area out. Just a little dab here or there. Try to bring it together a bit. And maybe around here where it undulates out. Bring that down too. So what we're trying to do is just mimic light, basically. Like where the light would naturally fall on the thing first, which would be the most external. And also kind of use it to kind of bring some life back into some of these spots. So just a little something, nothing crazy. Maybe like that rib cage area, like right here. Maybe a little bit down the tail there too. And the ridging, let's make that pop a little bit too. Like the little platelets, if you will, the knees or elbows or whatever they would be called. And the hands, give them a little bit more definition. The claws, if you will. Bring it all together. A little bit right there would be nice. Yeah, there we go. Not bad. Not bad by my standards, at least. And we'll do that one more time. Now, on those faces, because those are detail pieces, so let's do whatever we can to kind of help that out pop just a little bit more. Wow, that's a cool looking shot there. Holy cow. Alright guys, I think it looks pretty darn close to done. Looks pretty good, but we'll do a couple of finishing touches here. Which will be, let's now do that red wash that I wanted to do. But we wanted to do it in a darker red, so let's see if we got like a barn red or something like that, because we want the dark recesses in there. There we go, a Tuscan red. That'll work. And same thing as before, just a little bit reverse. I'm gonna go ahead and just take another one of these bottle caps. I love these things for like this. Boop, and just add a bottle cap, like such. A little bit of water. And we just want to wet her down a bit. Just a little dab of Tuscan in there, like such. Might be too much. So let's go ahead and add a little bit more water in there. Use that one brush again. Just kind of run some extra droplets in there. There we go. Okay. And then we'll take our pink mouth brush that we used earlier. Just kind of give it a little spin. Still might be too much, guys. Yeah, I think that's too much. Let's see, how's it look on the paper? Yeah, that's way too much. Alright. So let's just dump the majority of that out. That's fine. And just add more water. see here. Let's try this. Give it another test here. A little bit lighter. See what I'm saying? Not as dark as the other one. I don't know. I still don't like it though. The wash, you know, it's supposed to be thin. Try this one. There we go. That's better. So you can see the white on the paper a lot better. That's what I'm going for. All right. Just in the recesses of the mouth. Give it a little bit of tonality. The brown should do most of the work, but you want to have like a little bit of differences if I can capture that. Whoa. You can see like the mouth, the corner of it, and the corners of the jowl there. Just a little something. Just a little something. Nothing crazy. And also, I was thinking maybe we could hit the teeth with that too. Just to give it a little bit of a look of like maybe having stained, bloody teeth. And also kind of like just give it a little character. A little dab here, a little dab there, just try to get it into the mouth. Get those roofs. Get the mouth roofs. And then the one that didn't have a tongue per se, now I can just hit this. And give it an idea of having some sort of red there, right? As soon as it dries in there. Kind of looking like the Joker. Yeah, gives it a little something, right? A little darkness to it. Come back and make sure we get all the little areas that we want. Tap the tongue a bit more. And if some of this gets spewed about around the heads, cool. Blood stains. Kinda gets everywhere, right? Especially if it's coming down their lips or whatever, or falling into the natural recesses of their like scales and stuff. I think that would look very natural. Kind of like looking at a, what are those called? Those big fucking lizards, man. They're like in the Galapagos Islands. They got like that poisonous bite. And their mouth is always just like, got that bacteria and shit like hanging out of it. Komodo dragon, I believe. And other than that, looking at the color against this, man, we're pretty damn close. I'd say that's pretty damn close. Alright, but before we finish everything, let's personalize it a little bit. Let's do something for these eyes if we can. I mean, they look very yellow in that image, but
Wop
I
says,
don't know.
Godzilla.
Godzilla. Godzilla! Tyrant lizard. See here. Damn it. Like, I really want to get a good look. Yeah, see, the eyes are kind of like, hard to notice, but let's see here if we blow it up enough. Kind of almost like an amberish, lighter, just pure color. Huh. Yeah. And they're just milky. They don't have pupils. No shit. At least on this image. Oh, that guy kind of does. Okay. Alright. If I can find the edge of this picture so I can shrink it back down. There we go. You're killing me, Smalls. Come on. Okay. So with that, kind of like an orangish yellow type thing. I don't know. Like, maybe we should just go with like one of these crazy colors with that. Like, maybe like a neon orange. Could use that and cut it with some of this white. We'll just add it right into that. This one right here that we used earlier. Try to keep the color, but change it up a little bit, you know what I mean? Make those eyes pop. Let's give it a shot, see what it looks like. Give it some character. Make it our own, you know? Not completely like the image. Let's see what it looks like after we spin her up. Kind of looks like the picture, actually. Shit. Like that amberish color. No kidding. Let's see if we can get that. See, that's just that. Man, the screen is not doing it any justice. This is blue out. It all looks like white, but this has actually got like an orange going on to it. Let's see if we can maybe drag it up out of the light or something. There you go. You can see the more of the orange color down there. Woo, whoop. Still got to mix it a little bit better, but you can see what it's kind of doing there. More orange. Maybe a little bit more of that. Cool. And then let's do the same thing that we've been doing. I drank a lot of beer last night, so I got a lot of beer fucking caps here. I might as well use them. I always remember to pick up the beer bottles and put those away, but I always forget the freaking caps. Alright. Guess I was meant to be. Alright, let's thin that out so we can use it to make sure that we're getting really nice and controlled application here. Let's see what we can do. Wish us luck, gentlemen. Here we fucking go. Eyes there. It's gonna be nerve-wracking. Yeah. A little bit brighter. Okay. That's kind of what it looked like in there. That was too much. Okay. It's alright though. We can always hit it with that wash again. Gonna bring it back down if we have to. Definitely have to wash that. Oops. No. Yeah, a little bit more personality. I can't fucking see this one anymore, light. I don't even know where they are. This one in the middle. Oh man, what a pain in the ass. I might have to bend his head or something. There we go. Yeesh, what a nightmare you were. Alright, not bad. Not great, but not bad. Go back and get some of that brown on our little, I don't know, let's do a little tiny brush, but let's make sure that we let it dry first. So let's hit it with this. Because who knows, man, it might dry a lot darker. Not really familiar with these neons, so I don't know exactly what they will do.
Wormhole Interaction says, "Oh shit, looking good man 07.
Hey, what's up, Wormhole? Thank you, sir. Just about to wrap this bad boy up. Just trying to get the little deets on here. I think the colors came out at least pretty good comparatively to the picture. I always appreciate you coming through, man. Alright, now let's see. That should be hopefully dry enough to go back into this wash. And I gotta be very careful with this. Just want to do a little dab of dew in there just to kind of fill the eye back out. But leave our paint in there that we had from before. Maybe if we get it to do like a little eye slits for us too. I don't like that. Just like that, baby. Alright, so let's go ahead and bring this back over. Have a little control. See if we can do the same thing on this one right here. Yeah, just a little dab to fill right in there, right? See if we could pull it a little bit because it's kind of stuck in that one corner. Get it on both sides, and then dry off my brush, go back in to kind of pull it back out. So we just want in the deepest recesses. We want that eye to kind of do its thing too. There we go, kind of like that. Alright, I know it's kind of hard to see, but see if we can. That little like slit in the eye itself, right? Plus it's our base brown that we used for all of our washing and everything like that. So yet again, I bring it all back together, right? See if we can get this guy right here. Not bad, not shabby. Eye in the middle there. Just keep on going around. Give everybody else a little dab. That's all I was gonna do, man. A little yabba dabba do. Oh, that one came out fucking sexy looking. Alright, so we can get that one on there too. Of course, it's like a really weird angled eye. So we can figure it out. There it is. And last but not least, in the back on this side. See if we can get that into the shot, because holy crap, Hydra. Hell, Hydra! Like just so. Makes a big difference, man. The devil in them details, I'll tell you what. Alright, let's go back on the other side. See if we can get some decent shots of this as I wrap this bad boy up, man. I just want to say thanks, guys. Yet again, coming by and just, you know, being real. Just hanging out for a while. Do a little painting. Did alright. We did alright. We do good work, man. We do good work. We all do good work, you know? The best part of it, though, as always, should be the fun that you had along the way. And I had a lot of fun today. So thanks. Tried something different. We went in reverse. You know, usually it's like we kind of do dark and work our way up. This time we went really bright and brought it all the way down. So it's a fun experience. I didn't know exactly how it would go. But shit, man. I do all right. Like I said, I do all right. We all do all right. Too much. Let's pull that off. All right. You see those eyes coming to life there? Get that neon in there now too. Give it a little bit of that brightness pop. Come on, Poppy. Oh, Poppy, you like the color, Poppy? I love it. Alright, let's see if we can find that freaking this eye again. Eye you guys will not even see because this head is so buried in here. Alright, see if we can get my thumb on it. I don't know if we can see it. Maybe if I push it down or something. Nope. Oh, there it is, kinda. See that eye right there in the back? Oh, a pain in the ass, man. Who would have thought? Who would have thought, right? Alright. And, shit, man. I don't know. Comparatively to the guy next door, up in that corner. I think it really nailed the color palette. So this light might be blowing it out, so let me turn that away a bit. Okay, let's try that too. See some of those more pronounced details of the face and stuff now. Nostrils and all that stuff kind of popping out. I really like the yellow on the green there. Kind of gives it something else. Gives it a little something special, I think, guys. And I want to say thank you for joining me today again on something special. I love doing this stuff with you guys. It really, it's a reciprocal thing. I hope I inspire you, but you guys most definitely inspire me to do these things once a month. We get in here and do this stuff. So, very humble, very thankful. And maybe even a little hungover today on this Shameless Saturday. But thanks again so much, guys. And let's not forget the people that get the little extra Hydra love today. We're here on Patreon. Thank you guys so much. Until next time, you know what to do. Take care of yourself and each other. Take care, guys. Bye.